And it says, the next day, Moses sat to judge the people, and the people stood about Moses from the morning until the evening. Now, when Moses' father-in-law saw all that he was doing for the people, what do you think? You think, did Jethro say, yeah, it's a really good thing you're doing there. You're putting your nose to the grindstone. You're working hard. Amen. Go to it, brother. You're a good son-in-law. No, he didn't say that at all. Moses' father-in-law said to him, the thing that you're doing is not good. He's putting in 12, 14, 16-hour days. There's about 1 million Israelites, and when they have any kind of a dispute, they're bringing it to Moses to judge. And the father-in-law, Jethro, says, the thing that you're doing is not good. You will surely wear out. Remember, he's an old man. He's even older than me. He's 80 years old. And he says, you're going to wear out, and the people will wear out with you. For the task is too heavy for you. You can't do it alone. So then he gives him some advice. And he says, select from all the people some capable, honest men who fear God and who hate bribes. Appoint them as leaders over groups of 1,150 and 10. They should always be available to solve the people's common disputes, but have them bring the major cases to you. So he was saying, basically, you know, when there are misdemeanors that occur, you have people that you delegate to. But then when the real serious cases come, you decide. But you have other people to rely on. So he's saying, you need to delegate. You can't do all this work yourself. In other words, don't work these 12, 14, 16-hour days. You see, Moses was trained, and he was trained to be a workaholic. He worked all day, and he was told that it wasn't a good thing. Are you a workaholic? Take your clickers and let's find out what you think. A, yes. B, probably. C, no. D, other. And E, other. So you have 15 seconds to answer. Are you a workaholic? And what we're suggesting is maybe it's not such a good idea to be a workaholic, but it seems to be common, especially in groups like ours, where alcohol and drugs are frowned upon. So you're not going to be an alcoholic. You're not going to be a druggie. So what do? Well, so what some of us do is we're workaholics. And the scientists tell us that the effect on the family, the effect on children, is about the same as if the parent was a workaholic. So anyway, what are you? Are you a workaholic? Yes, probably, no, or other. You have 15 seconds to say, and of course this is anonymous, so you can feel free to be honest. You can go right now. Are you a workaholic? A is yes, B is probably, and C is no. You have 3 seconds. And 77 of you answered this question. And the number one answer was no. Well, that's very good. But 6 of you said yes. I'm a workaholic. 6 of you said I'm a workaholic. Now, if you want to really know if you're a workaholic or not, just go to your computer and Google workaholic test. And there are several tests that will come up, and it will ask you questions, and you can answer the questions, and then it will identify for you if you are a workaholic. It's not good to be a workaholic. It has a bad effect on you and a bad effect on your family. All right. Workaholism leads, of course, to stress. You have too many things to do and not enough time to do them. There's a guy that was the president of Harvard University, and his name was Neil Rudenstein. And Neil is very distinguished. He's very educated, very prominent educator. And what's interesting about him is that he, as president of the university, was one of his main jobs as president was to raise money for the university. And he goes down as being so distinguished, so much of a workaholic, that he actually raised over $1 million a day as president of Harvard University. He raised over $1 million a day for over 10 years. And then one day he didn't show up for work. The one day soon turned into another day and another day. Soon it was 7 days, and then it was 7 weeks, then it was 7 months. He had been to the doctor, and the doctor had diagnosed him with chronic fatigue syndrome. He was all worn out. He was doing this, what the proverbial thing that we talk about, burning the candle at both ends. And so he wore out. And that's a lesson for us, not to get trapped in workaholism. You know, the advice that Jethro gave to Moses was, you're going to wear out. What you need to do is delegate. You need to have other people help you. The story of Adam and Eve is an interesting one. God says, it's not very good for man to be alone. And so he created a wife so Adam could delegate. Oh, I thought that would get a rise out of you. So he created a wife because they were equals. And we know how the story goes on from there. But both men and women need to delegate to each other, don't they? We need to know how to delegate. Moses selected 70 elders in the Old Testament, so he was delegating. In the New Testament, Jesus didn't do all the work by himself. He selected 12 disciples. And then Jesus sent them out 2 by 2. Didn't send them out alone, sent them out 2 by 2. And that's why today, if you travel and you happen to see a couple of guys walking or a couple of guys on bicycles and they have suits on, black suits and black ties, they're probably members of the Latter-day Saints Church, because today they send their missionaries out all over the world 2 by 2. A good lesson here followed from the Bible. Recently I was reading a story as I was doing some research for the sermon today about some horses in Canada. And they said they had a contest of which horse could pull the most weight. And the winner actually pulled 9,000 pounds. The horse that came in second pulled 8,000 pounds. And so you'd think if you'd team them up together that they could pull 17,000 pounds. But you know what? They actually together did 30,000 pounds. See, 2 by 2, it helps to work with others. There's a synergy effect. It helps to delegate. It helps to get more people involved.